was a fortress town also. Yeah, it was surrounded by a wall, and it had many churches. And these churches, the work that was, like how we have in some of our masajid, the beautiful artwork and so forth. These churches, the artwork that was done and the different designs, and that was done in pure gold and pure silver. So these must have been very wealthy people also, that they could spend that kind of wealth on such places, on a place like in their churches. It was also a coastal town. Yeah. And during the Islamic period, it was conquered by the famous Sahabi Sayyidina Abu Ubaidah ibn Jarrah radiyallahu ta'ala an. It is also mentioned that the grave of a man by the name of Habib Najjar, grave of a man by the name of Habib Najjar is present in this city. If you can ever find it, you ever go to Syria, don't go at the moment, all the CTS bill and that, you're getting locked up by. Yeah, so stay away from there. Be careful if you do go. Khair, his grave is known to be there in this place known as Antakya. Now, who was Habib Najjar? When you read the second page of Surah Yaseen, yeah, right towards the end, second, third, last line, وَجَاءَ مِنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ رَجُلٌ يَسْعَى قَالَ. A man came hurriedly rushing from the outskirts of the city. اتَّبِعُوا الْمُرْسَلِينَ. He said to the people, follow the messengers. Because what happened, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had sent one messenger. One messenger wasn't enough. Allah ta'ala said it'd be better if they have more. The first one asked for help from Allah ta'ala. Allah ta'ala sent backup. Some narrations say 2, some narrations say 3 messengers were sent. They came as a backup to help this first messenger. Now these messengers came to these people of Antakya, and they said to them that they should do what? What was the job of every Nabi? Worship one Allah. Yeah, inviting to Tawheed, inviting to the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Khair, so what happened is, these people said, قَالُوا إِنَّا تَطَيَّرْنَا بِكُمْ. Today when someone tells us to do something good, sometimes we say, hey, listen here, just stay away from me. It's none of your business. If my son don't want to read his namaz, who are you to tell him? If my daughter wants to dress like a prostitute, who are you to tell me? Obviously no one's going to say that, is it? No father's going to say that. But they will allow it sometimes. May Allah Ta'ala save us. They said, we feel, you know what, you're up to some nonsense here. You just want to cause trouble here. That is why you are here. All you messengers, you're saying you are messengers. We just feel a bad omen coming from you. Just stay away from us. The job of a Nabi is to persist. Otherwise, Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam, for 950 years, at the rate of possibly one person every decade accepting the deen, accepting his call, he wouldn't have given up. Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam wouldn't have given up waiting 40 years from for the time where he was separated from his son, Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. They persisted and they spoke to these people, trying to advise them, telling them that, look here, I'm here for your benefit, we are here to guide you. These people didn't want to listen. They said, listen, if you don't go away from here, what are we going to do? We're going to beat you up. We're going to hit you. We are going to hurt you. Then don't blame us. It's your fault. It is mentioned that Habib Najjar, the same person whose grave is there, and I've mentioned his name a few times, and the reason for this is one day if you ever go there, look for this qabr inshallah. This man, it is mentioned that he was a devout Christian. Goes to show he lived in a Christian town. He was a devout Christian and he had a certain type of illness, and he was quite an elderly man. And it is mentioned that when these messengers came to the town, he was one of the first people they met. And they said to him that, you know what, we have come to invite you to the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he said to them that you are telling me that all these years, 80 or 90 years, I've been worshipping God, yeah, and in all these years he hasn't listened to me, and I must now obey and follow this new God that you are telling me about, this Allah, and he is going to listen to me? They said, yes, of course. One time, he lifted up his hands to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He accepted the deen after this. He lifted up his hands. He makes dua to Allah ta'ala. Allah ta'ala cures him in such a way that there is no sign of the calamity that had afflicted him for so many years. Not a single bit of its effects on his entire body. He didn't have iman. You and me got iman? You and me are fasting? You and me are in the month of Ramadan? We know the Quran? We know a hadith? Subhanallah, why won't Allah listen to your dua? You know why He won't listen? Because while I'm making dua, or the Maulvi Sahib is making dua, I'm thinking, hurry up, Maulvi Sahib, is 8:56, I need to go home now, man, come on, hurry up, I need to get home, football starting in 6 minutes time, 4 minutes time, I've got to go for my match, I've got to go play. We've got 50 other things going on in our head. This man with a clear mind, with conviction in his heart, he makes dua. Ya Allah, if you are true, then accept my dua. Allah accepts his dua, and what happens? Allah Ta'ala cures him. That is why it is mentioned, that is why me and you, we recite Surah Yaseen. We say and we speak about this man. He came, you know when a person is in a rush? Yeah, you need to get to someone urgently and tell them something, but you're not running and you're not walking. It's like fast pace walking, something like that. Yeah, walking hurriedly, walking in a rush. So he is walking towards his people, and he says, "Oh my people, ittabi'ul mursaleen, follow these men. Ittabi'ul mursaleen, follow these men. Ittabi'u man la yas'alukum ajran wa hum muhtadun." Follow these men. They are not asking you for money. They're not here to take over your city and your business. All they want you to do is follow the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are rightly guided people. It is mentioned that he made a lot of effort in trying to make his people understand. But like I said in the earlier verses of Surah Yaseen, sometimes when you've got blinkers on, you've got that iron collar which is forcing you to look upwards, you can't see just 1 meter in front of you. No matter how broad daylight it is, you can't see in front of you. Yeah? Allah Ta'ala can take away that spiritual sight, by which means you can see the greatness of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Do we not see, and this is not to judge anyone, but do we not see people in the month of Ramadan, they are openly eating, drinking, committing acts of sin? Yes, do we not see people doing that? Muslims? Yes, we see people like that. Sometimes Allah Ta'ala save us from such a thing. We mustn't look down upon anyone that is in this condition, because you don't know why they are there. But sometimes Allah Ta'ala makes it such that they are taken away from the remembrance of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. The fact that we can sit in Allah's house and we can remember Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is indeed a very, very great blessing from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. We don't understand and realize it. Wallahi al-Azim, if we did, we'd always want to be in the masjid. A mu'min out of the masjid should feel like a fish out of water. You ever seen fish come out of water and just chill out, relax there for a little bit? Someone will say, yeah, I've seen some fish here. I've seen some videos of the fish flying out of the water and into the boat. Seen that video? There are some fish that do that. But it is adat, their habit is what? To stay inside the water. That is how a mu'min should try and be in the masjid. Doing what? Just reading salah? Just making dua, just making dhikr? No. Having worry and concern about the entire ummah. The worry that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam had, that how is everyone going to go to Jannah? How is everyone going to be saved from Jahannam? This should be every person's concern. Everyone, no matter who you are, young, old, no matter what race or religion, what race or background you have. Yeah? You don't say Islam is just for Gujis. Don't be like that huruf muqatta'at. You know what's huruf muqatta'at? Yasin, Taha, Hamim, Ain, Sin, Qaf, Kaf, Ha, Ya, Ain, Sad. All these things are known as huruf muqatta'at. Some clever chap, he reckon, Allah loves, this was Memon chap. Right? No offense to the Memons. He says, no, Allah loves Memons. He says, how you know that? He says, Alif, La, Mim, Allah loves Memons. Right. You should change it. Allah loves Muslims. Inshallah. Allah loves everyone. If Allah Ta'ala didn't love the kuffar, if Allah Ta'ala didn't love the disbeliever, if Allah Ta'ala didn't love even that person who swears Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, He wouldn't give them air to breathe. He wouldn't give them food to eat. He wouldn't give them a job. He wouldn't give them anything that they have. Sahih? Allah Ta'ala loves everyone. So what gives us the right to hate anyone? We need to remember this, inshaAllah al-Aziz. So these people of Antakya, they gave Habib Najjar a very hard time. You know what a hard time they gave him? Just because he invited them to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they hit him and they punished him. And they put him through so much of difficulty that they eventually killed him. They eventually killed this man just because he called to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's lucky. On the day of Qiyamah, he will stand up shining. Possibly nur coming out from all the parts of his body that was injured because of his call towards Allah Ta'ala. Where is our death going to come? What condition is it going to be? While we are in a car blasting music, or while we are sitting watching movies? We could just be standing in a club. One person I know, I don't know him personally, but he passed away, mu'min. Allah Ta'ala grant him maghfirat. He passed away in a condition that he was standing in a club. It wasn't even a club, it was some sort of party. They had it in a tent, a massive tent. And he happened to be standing by the pole. Lightning struck that pole and it killed him. On the day of Qiyamah, he will be raised like that. Do we want to be raised like that in front of everyone? No, we wouldn't want to. May Allah Ta'ala grant us an honorable death, inshallah. Person who reads Surah Yaseen, Allah Ta'ala will give you goodness. If you read it in the morning, Allah will give you goodness from morning till the evening. If you read it in the evening, Allah will give you goodness till the morning. So imagine you make a habit of reading it every morning and evening. Sorted. You sorted. Allah Ta'ala will give you goodness all the time, inshallah. Inshallah al-Aziz. Are we going to try? Inshallah. There were 4 centers of Christian faith at this time where the story is mentioned. One was Al-Quds, Jerusalem. That was the right religion at the time, remember that. Christianity was the right religion. That time it wasn't called Islam. Isa alayhi salatu was salam, yes, he got which kitab? The Injil, the original Injil, not the homemade one. The one that's taken out the pork and the alcohol and the gambling and all the other things. So Jerusalem was one of the main cities of Christianity. Another one, anyone knows? Any of the major centers of the Christian faith around the world? Constantinople? No. Sorry, Maaf Abdul Ghaffar Bhai? Bethlehem? No. Bethlehem, what happened in Beit Laham? In the house of meat. Bethlehem, Beit Laham, house of meat, that's where it comes from. Isa alayhi salatu wasalam was born there. Maryam alayhi salatu wasalam, yes, she went out, she was told to go there. All our kids that go to schools, they do this play, of Mary having a baby and giving birth. She gave birth where? Under a date palm. Not in a luxury hotel. Hospital. Hotel. Where that came from. No, what actually came to mind is one brother who comes here for salah. Majority of the brothers maybe don't know him, and I don't know if I should mention names anyway. But I just got a call from him just before Asr Salah to say, Maulana, I come and read salah here. I don't know him personally. He knows who I am. I don't know him personally. But he said, Maulana, please, he sounded very distraught, bichara. Imagine on the Mubarak day of Jummah, possibly the last Jummah of Ramadan, you just want good news. He says, Maulana, a calamity has befallen us. We're going through a very difficult time. We've had a really bad day. My wife has been admitted into Royal Infirmary, and my wife has just, she's lost her child, She's just had a miscarriage. Very, very difficult time for parents. It's the first time it's happened in their life. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for them, make dua for them, inshallah, grant his wife shifa, inshallah, and make it easy for them to bear with this loss. Indeed, it's a difficult time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them sabr jameel, inshallah. We won't understand how difficult it is